right, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of Movie Time with King. Man, it is your boy. All right, y'all. So we're gonna jump right into it. We're gonna get into the meat and potatoes of today. So I'm a little late, about 2 weeks late, and it was on purpose, right? So Superman 2025, the reboot, the reset, the whatever we want to call it, right? James Gunn has decided. Hold on, man. Let me fix this. All right. So James Gunn has decided that he needs a new universe. Again, the DC needs a new universe again. And I'm gonna try to be as frank as possible today, but I'm also gonna try to be as positive as possible for today because it's two different fan bases that are watching this movie. And you have people I think that they love the character of Superman so much that it is you're not gonna be able to tell them that this was a bad movie. And then you got some people, man, who this is a mid. They just feel it's a mid movie. You know what I'm saying? Like a rating 5 to 7, not no higher than a 7. Yeah. So, and I'm one of those people. To be honest, I'm one of those people, and I have a few reasons why. I have a few things that I just didn't like, but I'm not gonna excoriate this movie and say that it was a bad movie. I'm gonna say it was a 7, and the depiction of Superman was mid at best. But let's just I guess get into it. So my first issue with this Superman movie is that Superman wasn't super. Superman by far in mostly all of his movies. There is a power structure that kind of grows over the story, over the time. So he may not start out showing his true strength or all his strength, because it's Superman and he's a very humble, hero. I feel like that's the main part of his character. Is his character is it is an emotionally led character, but it's supposed to be an innocent minded character. So in a way, he's not he's not supposed to have the negative bone. He's not supposed to be self-loathing. He's supposed to be optimistic. He's supposed to be, rooted in faith. And that's kind of why I think they gave him a background of a small town, kid with very rural parents who didn't teach him to abuse the powers that were given, but to use them to benefit mankind or to benefit the people around him that he cares about. So with that being said, this Superman had none of that, right? This dude, first of all, they made his parents way too country. For Kansas, way too country. Maybe Oklahoma, maybe rural Arkansas, something like that. But the way that they portrayed this guy, I don't think the parents would have been an intricate part in him growing up to be at the Daily Planet or anywhere near Metropolis because they were just so country in this movie, which I didn't understand why you make it go that far. But whatever, it's if it's stereotype or if it's prior knowledge or maybe it's a storyline later and they explain why they decided that was the move. But I didn't like that. Second is like he wasn't confident in this one. He wasn't confident. He was very doubtful of himself. He was doubtful of his everything. Like, and don't get me wrong. I know Superman and Clark Kent in prior movies have had that tug of war. And I always told people I always felt like they portray Superman as like a schizophrenic in a way, where his Superman persona is very powerful, very stoic, very certain, because he didn't really beat people by chance. He would always, it was always like a understanding of the scheme and the scamming to where he would figure it out. And at the end, when he does defeat the bad guy, whoever it is, he gives an explanation of why, and he lets him know this is what it was. You overestimated this or blah blah blah. You didn't get that from this Superman. Your Superman was getting beat up whole movie by everybody. Didn't matter if it was a kaiju. Didn't matter if it was a guy in a suit. Didn't matter if it was a clone. It didn't matter. He was getting beat up. And I didn't feel that. I hated that part about this movie. Because it's something. They should have renamed this movie. It shouldn't have been Superman because he was just all right. He wasn't super. He didn't depict super. I didn't feel that if an asteroid came towards Earth at any point in this movie, that he would have had the strength or wherewithal to go and handle that situation without help. It just always felt like in this movie, Superman always needed help. So if that's James Gunn's vibe, okay, because I get it. He's done very well making team movies. Whether it's Guardians of the Galaxy, just even the Batman, it was a team movie, or not the Batman. I'm sorry, I don't think he did the Batman, but whatever. James Gunn is not. I don't think he's respecting the Superman aspect of this part. Like the whole Justice Gang scenario was cool, but then that just overshadowed Superman. So to me, it was like an alright movie. Well, Alright Man and the Justice Gang. That's what this should have been named. It was so much on the same lines of how I look at Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. That is not a Doctor Strange movie. You know what I mean? It is a Wanda movie. It is a America Chavez movie over a Doctor Strange because we get more of their story, more of their dialogue than Strange, and that's how this movie is. Not to say that he doesn't get all the dialogue, because him, like Superman and Lois Lane, they're definitely the main focal point of the movie, but they're not the heroes of the movie. All of a sudden, they're like the liabilities for most of the movie, and it was just certain things I couldn't agree with. And I mean, I could go all day on that. Now, let me touch on some things that I did like. I did like Mr. Terrific. Mr. Terrific was a great character. The depiction was good. The Green Lantern, great character, good depiction. I guess I did like the setting, Metropolis. They made Metropolis look amazing, but it kind of put me in a mind of, is this a one-off movie or is this going to lead to Justice League or Batman or Flash or any of that? Because it just didn't have it. It didn't have that crossover where, we knew Metropolis was across the river from Gotham and down the street from the Flash, so it just didn't give that. And I think it was a fun movie, a lot of humor, but also so many comic book things that happened in this movie that it just didn't. I just don't think they landed it correctly. So that's why I think people who give this movie a 9 are just Superman fans and he could do no wrong, and they're just with that. You know what I'm saying? And I understand. Everybody gives grace to their favorite characters or their favorite properties because it already made like 500 mil, right? People are going to see this movie and think, oh man, this is cool. But the problem is Fantastic Four just dropped, right? And that's my next review. So I'm going to be honest. The Fantastic Four landed. They did what they were supposed to do. Marvel won this round. Not saying DC completely lost or they beat themselves, but in the releases, summer releases, Marvel just won. And it's okay. Marvel's used to it. And I think James Gunn going over there and taking control of DC, like I said, with him doing the Guardians of the Galaxy, And it's like I could have swore. Let me just make sure. But him doing the Guardians of the Galaxy, I think this was a good try, but he could have done so much better. Like he could have. Okay, so I can tell now. Suicide Squad, all the Guardians of the Galaxy, Slither, movie 48. Okay, I understand. I completely understand. Superman definitely is falling in line with a Suicide Squad, the second one, not the first. The reason why I say that is because even in the second Suicide Squad, it was like one guy is supposed to be the leader, but they're not. Everybody was a leader at some point, or everybody was able to, get their scheme off or get their plan, get their shine. And that's what this movie was. Everybody got a chance to get their shine except Superman until the end. And that was like a little irritating on my part. Like I just did not agree with that. And that's what I think will always be my issue with this movie. The rewatchability of it is low because their depiction of Superman was very weak. And his weakness was on purpose because they wanted to show growth, but they didn't show the growth. They just showed that he wasn't alone, even though he wanted to be a loner. So, with that being said, I give this movie a 6.5, 7. All because, to me, there's just more negatives than positives. You know what I mean? It's just more negatives than positives. And it's like, as much as I want to go into this movie and say, like, hey, Superman was cold and all that, even like this is the opening scene. And he's getting his beat, like, front to back beat. And it's sad because, like, I thought that this right here would have been like some other powerful team of Kryptonians, or this was Doomsday or something. Like this would have made you believe. No, it was a clone and some dudes in a suit. Literally, clone and some dudes in a suit beat this man so bad, broke his ribs. Like he got back to the base. Like, and this is another thing. Krypto, and I get it. They're hailing Krypto, bro, as this was the savior of the movie. The searches for dog adoption went up. After people watched this, there's a reason for that. Because Krypto was bad as hell the whole movie, and it's not his dog. He doesn't even like the dog. Like you can tell. It's not that they like each other. It's that Krypto is just like, God, I gotta be here with your bum ass. And it's the same villain. He feels the same way. I gotta be here with your bum ass. So let's help me out. But this was not a good part of the movie like we thought. Like in this trailer, they're definitely making it seem like, oh bro, Krypto gonna be a key part of this movie. He gonna make, Superman this, that. No. He is a part of the movie. He does have some cool interactions in the movie, but you see him at the beginning, a little bit in the middle, and then pretty much at the end, and that's it. And he's like comic relief. He's comic relief for when Superman is getting beat to sleep. They like, oh well, Superman's, in dire straits. Look at the dog. And that's just, it was just, it was. Not saying it was like cringe or, oh man, I hate this. It just didn't move me. It did not move me. You know what I mean? Like nothing about this moved me. Even this part of the Fortress of Solitude. I get that they added the robots.
No need to thank us,
but that's
sir.
not
We will
solitude.
We have no consciousness
Homie.
whatsoever. Merely automatons.
Solitude means singular. One guy. everything that was in Superman's Fortress of Solitude was like memories and different programs. It was like his Batcave. Y'all gave this dude a whole team of workers. Like, we don't know how many of them things is in there, and it's not really a fortress. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of there. And it even bro, they letting people break in with stupid ways, and that's just something. Like, I get it was an ode back to the Christopher Reeve and Lex Luthor back then, but the way they depicted it in this one was just like, come on. So anywho, I think too, like, what they don't depict in these trailers, because like some of this stuff in the trailers, I just don't even remember the movie. But at the same time, what they don't depict in these trailers, like how sad this dude is the entire movie. Like this scene, oh my god! All right, let me go back to the Packers scene, because I was thoroughly pissed. Spoiler alert: if you thought that in this scene, oh yeah, bro, Superman's gonna go out there and beat this kaiju to pieces and we gonna see what it is, we never even see what it is. Because he sits there, and like I said, spoiler alert, I just want y'all to know that. He sits there and cries to his girl while the Justice Gang handles business. Superman fans, I want y'all in the comments, I want y'all to tell me, what Superman do you know would sit on the couch and cry to his girlfriend about, oh, feeling inadequate, or I'm not, instead of helping take care of a kaiju, bro? Right there on your block, destroying your town in Metropolis. Do y'all not see the problem with that? And I get it. People giving so much grace and leeway to this guy, but that was the lamest I've ever seen in a Superman movie. And I'm talking Superman Returns. I'm talking all of it. Like any franchise that has Superman in it, even the Flash. Like with the callback to Nicolas Cage, I don't even think that Superman would have sat back and is sulked in his chair. Oh, they got it. I was disgusted, and I will never respect it. This scene right here pissed me off. And if you remember, if you watched my review before, I couldn't wait for this scene. I couldn't wait, because I was just like, I know they got something cracking going on. Like, what is going on here? And when you see it, pissed. Instantly pissed off. Like, sucker. But yeah, that's what he do. All movie. That's all he do. It is lust after Lois and save, a couple people here and there. And I'm really like, that was another thing that I didn't like. I did not like the fact that this man only saved a couple people. Like, he didn't, like, and I had a conversation with people, and they was like, blah blah blah, Superman, he tries to save everybody, that's why he feels so guilty.
Imagine being able to build,
but I'm gonna be honest with y'all, bro, in this particular scenario, I don't think he was necessarily trying to save everybody. I think in this scenario, so like this part right here, these buildings are falling, people are dead, and he saves one person in this car. That's it. Look, that's all in this scene
on planet Earth.
If you go back, all these people are dead. They're on that bridge. I'm not playing with you. Like look, this is the part that I said people, it gave me so much grief. Oh man, Superman be all right. He ain't saving people, because he's crying to his girl, or he crying to his dad, or he crying to other people about, but you don't want help to save people. But now look at this. This building is full of people. Falling onto another building full of people. All right, come on. Look at these people. Look at these people. All these people are running from a falling building. What does that mean? All of these people down here on this bridge is falling. Yep, smoke. They're crushed, Superman. But you managed to save one person in their car.
Being on planet Earth.
And look at this. That's all it is. That's all you get, bro. Look, here's the part. They're breaking in. Imagine
Now,
that.
as planned.
Imagine that, bro. Like, it bothered me. It bothered me because from what I seen in the trailer,
That reporter
I didn't
you always
expect
do interviews with.
them to depict Superman so weak.
raised you as a
But
child?
he's just so weak
I'll kill them too.
throughout this entire movie. He's a weak-minded character, and he's a weak character. Like, they let Superman get beat up by command. By command. They literally had Ultraman. Like I said, spoiler alert. Ultraman was beating Superman to sleep.
Wrap it
Never
up.
once used laser eyes. Never once tried to fight back, in a different form. Look, he needed his dog to help fight the battle because he wasn't smart enough, or could get out of his emotions, to fight a dude being commanded like a video game. Lex Luthor in the office. F2. H3. A6. Just naming off moves. And Superman is getting beat to sleep. Couldn't land a punch on this guy.
Quit messing around.
That's why I'm like,
important stuff.
he was alright. He was alright, man. Look at this. Alright, man, bro. Go see it.
Eyes up here.
Excuse me. Because it's a fun movie. It's definitely a very fun movie. But it ain't good. It just ain't good. It ain't good. It didn't hit my soul like it was supposed to. It wasn't good.
Are you being serious right
And
now?
I pray that the follow-up is
You
better.
let me
I
interview you
pray
as Superman.
that,
Sure.
we get this Green Lantern off the ground, that they give us a new Flash,
Ready?
that they give us
Do it,
what they're
Cronkite.
going to give us. Like, I'm okay
Superman.
if this movie
Miss Lane.
is just
Recently,
Here.
you've come under a lot of fire.
not that we got to
for some
revisit it.
right
I don't
now.
want to
It's
go
a lot.
back to the Lex Luthor. Because even the Lex Luthor,
Today,
got
the
this fucker
Secretary of
crying
Defense
at the
is gonna
end.
Look into your actions.
crying, tears.
That's funny.
My actions.
Nate, show me
stopped a war.
in history, live action or animated,
Not
where
maybe.
when the
I
Lex
did.
In
Luthor
effect, you
of
illegally
said
entered
story
the country.
This is how you're gonna be?
I'm not the
loses
one
or is
being
defeated,
interviewed,
he
Superman.
cried tears.
Did you consult with the president?
Show me, because I want to see
No.
it.
You seemingly
I mean, I want to
acted as a
see it,
representative
and
of
that
the
was the one.
United
That was
States
another thing.
Government.
There's too many
And
cons
doing good.
with this depiction of Superman for
I
me
would question
to say,
myself
"Hey,
in the
bro,
same
it's a pro."
situation and consider
It just
the
ain't. It just
consequences.
isn't
People
there.
were going to die.
It just wasn't there. And I'm gonna wrap it up because I don't want to make it seem like I hate the movie and I hate Superman. I hated the way they depicted this particular,
Hey, buddy. Eyes up
like
here.
this era of Superman, because it's 3 years in. They give you the rundown. It's definitely 3 years in of him being, in the public as Superman. And he's, 33, 30, I think he's 30 years old or something like that, or 33, something like that.
Choices.
But at the end of the day,
Your
there.
actions.
I'm reminded of how there's an argument right now
That's
of
what
Hulk
makes
Hogan.
you who you
Hulk
are.
Hogan passed away, and he is a very
Superman.
up and down past. His ups were in the 80s and
bad.
90s, and he was just Hulk Hogan.
It.
But when he was exposed 10 years
Somehow
ago
become the focal point of the entire
for
world's
just
conversation.
blatant racism, and this was also too, mind you,
Not.
at the point where his family was
Accept.
famous. Like they were all in the news, they were all in TV shows, everything, right? He was exposed for being racist. Now, people, when he passed, they're celebrating. Some people are celebrating, some people aren't more, right? That's what's going on here. You have some people who are celebrating this movie because they're just happy that they got a Superman that wasn't terrible, And you can look forward to maybe something after that. But then also you got people like me who are in mourning, bro, because I don't see this Superman as a good movie. Right? It's just not a good movie. It was the guy, the actor, he did a decent job. I'll say he did a okay job. He did a decent job as Superman. He could have been better as Clark Kent, but I also think we didn't get enough of him as Clark Kent to really grade his performance in that manner. And that was like a recurring theme of this entire movie. We didn't get enough Clark Kent. We didn't get enough strong Superman. We didn't get enough Hawk Girl. We didn't get enough Green Lantern. We didn't get enough Mr. Terrific. Like, every aspect that made this movie watchable and decent, where it would pick up, because there was a lot of dialogue in the middle of every transition. After that dialogue, we would get some little action, but then we wouldn't get a lot. It would be just more dialogue. So, you were trying to get away from rebooting and restarting a movie or giving us, a whole new intro. But you talked enough to make it an intro. Like, come on, dude. Get to the action. You know what I mean? Like, all this conversation, all this heartfelt, blase blah. He had to have a conversation with Lois as Clark. Then he had to have a conversation with Lois as Superman. Then he had to have a conversation with the Fortress of Solitude and figuring that out. Then he had to have a conversation with his Earth mom and dad. Then he had to. It's like, bro, too many conversations when you could just speed through this and get to some action and get to the meat and potatoes, and then figure it out later. But all this dialogue, and you said that you didn't want to do a reboot because it creates more dialogue and it's too slow, and you just did it anyway. So, whatever. Like I said, I hope James Gunn gets it together, because this was a fun movie, but it could have been a better depiction of Superman. And that's my opinion. Everybody has their opinion, just like everybody got an a-hole. So, I'm using mine, you use yours. But I do say, like I say with every other movie that I've critiqued, watched, or gave my opinion on, I suggest you go see it. Go see it. Let me know your thoughts. And if you're on the other side, because like I said, I've spoken to at least 10 people, at the shop, and everybody's saying the same thing, man. Like, either they agree with me that it could have been better, and it's like a decent movie, or they agree that they like it and they love it, and it's a 9.5, but they can understand why people won't like it. And that's where I have a little bit of disdain for this movie more, is because it's like, y'all giving passes, bro, for movies that y'all wouldn't give passes for other movies for. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, y'all wouldn't give this pass to just other franchises that didn't hit. Like The Flash. People don't give they didn't give The Flash no credit. It was horrible this, and it was blah, 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 and we didn't want that. I could point out 5 or 6 things in this Superman movie we didn't ask for and we didn't want. But people gonna give it a pass. So I'm gonna need y'all to keep that same energy that you got for Superman for everything else. And instead of us always, like I said in my last video, instead of us trashing movies, because we've been getting trash for the last 10 years. You know what I'm saying? We've been getting some real trash. Let's appreciate movies for what they are, what they can be, and for what may become next. Because that's what I'm going to try to do with this movie. I'm going to try to appreciate DC for where they're going with this. But until next time, y'all, man, I appreciate y'all again. Like, if you watching, man, like, subscribe, and participate, bro. I appreciate everybody who watches and jumps in on my lives or checks in on the podcast, on the Geek Set podcast. Also, I got an announcement. I am working on another setup, so I can be a little bit more accessible. I can stream more because I'm definitely trying to hit the Twitch world harder, but with my face. And if you don't know, man, I'm on Twitch all the time. Let me throw this Twitch out there real quick, because I'm gonna get, that's my goal for this winter, man, is promote all of what I'm doing. And if you don't know, I have been on Twitch kind of faithfully on my Grand Theft Auto thing. It all started with Marvel Rivals, but now it's in the Grand Theft Auto. And if you don't know, it's Kingpin 0023. Go check me out, man. Kingpin, all one word, 0023 on Twitch. And yeah, I'll probably be there on there later on tonight. You know, running my businesses. And if you want to join in my organization, feel free. I'll shoot you a request and we can do some things, see some stuff. But until then, man, I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good one.